Cecil, tell me your name.
Cecil A. Johnson.
What is the A? Albert or what?
Allen.
Allen?
A-L-A-N.
Johnson.
Hmm?
Were you in World War II?
Yes, I was. Clay Johnson is my nephew.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Clay, the local attorney.
Yeah.
Your nephew, isn't it?
Right.
When were you born?
October 27, 1917. Makes me 83 in October.
All right.
I don't look at good, clean living and all that.
Now, I'm going to fill this out.
Mm-hmm.
Cecil, keep this with your stuff. This tells you that you were interviewed on August the 30th, the year 2000. You were on tape 15. Okay, and this tape is going to be at the Portsmouth Public Library.
Okay.
So when your descendants see this 100 years from now, they find this in your stuff, they'll go down there and they'll say, hey, there's great Uncle Cecil.
Okay,
all right.
Good deal.
Now let me ask you a few questions.
Sure.
You told me your name and your date of birth. Where were you born?
I was born right here in
Portsmouth, Ohio?
Yeah.
What were your parents' names?
My dad was Calvin Johnson, and my mother was B-O-S-H, Bush Waddell.
Waddell was her maiden name?
Maiden name was Waddell.
Her first name was Bosch?
B-O-S-H.
Okay, that's an interesting name.
Yeah.
What were let me ask you this. What was your father's parents' names?
Well, my dad's name was,
Didn't know there'd be a test, did you?
No, and my memory is faulty.
Well, that's all right.
Rufus, his name was Rufus Johnson.
Your grandfather's name was Rufus?
Yes.
What was your grandmother's name on your father's side?
Nancy. Her name was Nancy.
Okay. Remember her maiden name?
Gillen. G-I-L-L-E-N. Nancy Gillen.
Okay.
And she married my grandfather.
Your mother's parents' names, do you remember that?
My mother's parents was James.
Her father?
James Waddell.
And her mother's name?
Was
that's kind of that's a hard one sometimes for people, isn't it?
well, it is for me now, but not always. Well, her name was Nancy Waddell.
Okay. Now, you were married. You got married?
Yeah, I got married.
When did you get married?
I got married while I was in the military on June 23rd, 1944.
Okay. And what was your wife's name?
Her name was Blanche Evans.
Blanche. Where was she from?
Massillon, Ohio.
Massillon. Okay. Do you know her father's name?
James Evans.
Okay. And her mother's name?
Bertha. Can't think of it.
Well, I tell you, you said your memory was bad, but I'm going to give you an A. You sound pretty good to me.
Okay.
Okay. Now, did you have children?
I've got 2 children.
And their names?
My daughter is Beth, B-E-T-H. Beth, she's divorced. Beth Lloyd Beth Johnson Lloyd.
Okay.
She teaches Latin in a high school over in New Jersey.
Oh, really? Okay. Does she have children?
She has 3 boys.
And what are their names?
Their names are Jed, J-E-D, bright boy, graduate of Rutgers with high honors.
Really?
He got a computer job, started out at $80,000 a year.
Oh my gosh.
Then she's got
2 other boys?
2 other boys. Tony in Las Vegas. I don't think he has found himself yet.
What's he do? Deal blackjack or something?
No, he doesn't do that. I think he's sort of a drifter, but he's getting along okay. I think he'll snap out of it because he's a good-looking boy.
Well, we all look for ourselves. What's the other boy's name?
That is
Nick?
Nicholas. He lives in Seattle, and he's doing fine.
He owns Starbucks.
Yeah.
What does he do there?
Well, he goes to school.
Okay.
And he's got a computer assignment or some sort of a job. He's doing fine.
Great. Now you have another child. You have a daughter.
I have my son Bob. His name is. He's a PhD.
Okay.
Well, highly educated. He's too smart for his dad. But
all our kids are too smart for their parents.
But Bob graduated from Oberlin College.
Okay.
And
what's his doctorate in?
Mathematics.
What does he do? Teach mathematics?
No, he does. He has taught before, but now he's with the University of Chicago. I don't know specifically what he does, but he's in Washington, D.C., because the University of Chicago has an office in Washington.
I see. Now, does he have children?
He's not married.
Okay. Now, let me ask you something else here. You were telling me about your family. When did you go into service?
November 12th, 1941.
Okay, November 12th of 41. That would be before the war started.
Before the war started. I was drafted for 1 year.
Oh, okay. And you stayed a little longer, I bet. 5. That's the way they did. Yeah. Where were you when you heard about Pearl Harbor being bombed?
Oh, I was at Camp Lee, Virginia. I'd been in the service for less than a month, almost November 12th to December 7th.
Okay.
I was at Camp Lee, Virginia.
And you must have been in basic training then.
Yes.
Okay. Were you in the Army, the Navy, or what were you?
Well, I started out in the Army, and I was in the Quartermaster Corps to start. And later, it all became part of the Air Force. I was stationed with the Air Force.
Okay, the Air Force. Okay. Now, when were you discharged from the service?
I was discharged in March. The specific date, I'm not sure I can remember, but it was in March of 1946.
Okay. What was your rank when you were discharged?
I was a first lieutenant.
Okay. Did you go in the service then as an enlisted man? You enlisted or was drafted as
an enlisted man.
And then while you were in the service, you got a commission.
Got a commission, went to OCS.
Where did you do your OCS?
At Camp Lee, Virginia.
Also at Camp Lee?
Yes.
Okay. Was that in the Quartermaster Corps as an officer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after you did your basic training as an enlisted person at Fort Lee, what did you do then?
Well, I was transferred to Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Okay. Just down the road a little bit. What happened there? What did you do there?
Well, I stayed there until a little later I was transferred to Columbus, Ohio. And there was Fort Hays there. I was stationed at Fort Hays in Columbus. And I stayed there, and later I was transferred back to Fort Knox.
Okay. Well, they needed you back there.
And I stayed at Fort Knox until I went to OCS.
Back to Fort Lee.
Officers Training Camp back to Camp Lee.
When did you do your officers training school?
Well, it was in 1943.
Okay. Now, after you're finished with OCS, what happened to you?
Well, I
You're a
was
second lieutenant right out of the OCS.
Well, I tell you, my first assignment was in Salt Lake City, and you only had to travel so many miles a day. I think I took about a month getting to Salt Lake City.
It's a long
great trip.
It's a long
great trip. And I was in Salt Lake City only temporarily, and I was transferred to Galveston, Texas. And I was in Galveston for I don't know exactly how long, maybe almost a year. And then I was transferred from Galveston to Bruning, Nebraska. There was an air base at Bruning.
Are you in the Army Air Corps at this time?
I'm in the Air Corps, yes. And Bruning, I can't forget Bruning because in June of 43, I got married in Bruning.
That's very hard to forget Bruning.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was 43. It was 1944. I got married in Bruning, Nebraska.
All right. Okay, very good. How long were you at Bruning?
Oh, I think I was there probably a year and a half to 2 years.
What city is Bruning near?
Well, from Lincoln, it's west of Lincoln, about 60 miles or so.
You ever been back?
No, I have not.
You want to go back?
I thought about it a good many times.
I wonder if it's still there.
Well, Bruning is there, and my marriage license was issued at
courthouse there, wasn't it?
No, the courthouse was in Hebron, Nebraska. Hebren, I think it is. And Hebron is still there. There's a little piece, I saw a piece in one of the magazines not too long ago on Hebron, Nebraska.
Did you go overseas any?
No, I wanted to, but I didn't go overseas because I was a commissary sales officer.
Oh, I see.
Accountable. I had to be bonded and everything.
I see.
So I couldn't go overseas.
I see. That's interesting. They wouldn't allow you to go overseas because of your position?
Well, because I was bonded and accountable.
Right.
So I was not subject to overseas.
Then were you discharged at Nebraska or were?
No, I was discharged at Dayton, Ohio.
Oh, I see. Okay. Was that after the war then?
It was in March of 46.
I see. What did you do then after you were discharged? You came home, of course.
I came back to Portsmouth.
Okay. And you began a career, didn't you?
Well, I was in the banking business before the war.
I see.
I worked started out as a messenger boy in Portsmouth Banking Company, which was in the Masonic Building. And when I went into the war from there, I think I had increased my salary from $50 a month. That's what I started out at back in 1941. And I think salary was up to maybe double that, $100 a month maybe.
Well, quite a step then.
And when I came back after the military, back to the bank. It wasn't much better.
You stayed with it though, didn't you?
I stayed in the banking
And
business.
how far did you go in the banking business?
Well, when I retired, I was the executive vice president and a member of the board of directors. I was on the board of the bank for 25 years.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The Portsmouth Banking, did you stay in that institution all the time?
Yes.
Okay. Then, was your father in the banking business? Was that why you got in it? Or
No, my dad was a railroader.
I see. With the N&W?
No, he was with the Baltimore and Ohio.
B&O.
Down they had yards down the Market Street area. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, while you were in the service, what was the best thing that ever happened to you in the service?
Well,
Might be hard to think of something that's the best thing in the service.
well, there wasn't anything spectacular in my service career.
What's the worst thing that ever happened to you?
Gosh, I don't think I had. I didn't have any bad times in the military. I didn't have a single night that I didn't sleep under sheets.
Okay, that's something there in the military, isn't it? Do you keep in touch with any friends that you made in the military or anything like that?
Not anymore.
Okay. Were you in any veterans organizations? Or used to be?
Oh, I've been a member of the American Legion, but I let that lapse.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to say? Cecil, got any tattoos you want to talk about or anything like that?
Don't have any tattoos.
You were in the Army, you don't have a tattoo?
Don't have a tattoo. Was that bad?
Well, I don't know. We might have to give you a dishonorable discharge for that.
Okay.
All right. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to say or add to the people who are watching this 200 years from now?
Well, I tell you, I haven't been too well lately. I'm not steady on my feet, but I got a lovely wife I've had for 50-some years, 57 years I've had her, and she does a wonderful job of taking good care of me.
Still a bride.
I can't ask for anything more than her.
Well, that sounds like you got everything then.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, Cecil. Thanks for everything you did. Appreciate it.
John, it's been a pleasure.
Okay.
You going to let me go already?
I'll let you go unless you want to yak at me some more.
No, I think I'm going to be on my way.
Okay.